What up, y'all? What up, y'all? Back in the building once again. You already know the deal. Lenny end zone in for the touchdown, taking a lead for the Eagles. One video at a time and dropping buckets for my Dallas Mavericks. We're not in good spirits right now for reasons that I may or may not talk about because this is a Eagles screen, so we're gonna have to definitely start on that. But I do have a first-time guest with me here. I've known him over at Mitch Kofsky's channel, and with a couple of Eagles conversations that we have had over spans of weeks' time, and including the I think day one of the draft where we had live reactions and everything. But yeah, everybody, give it up for Mitch's friend Tyler on the stream. Appreciate having you on here, man. We're gonna be doing we're gonna get some work in here. We're gonna get some work in here talking about these Eagles. But yeah, obviously, if y'all are new to the channel of mine and you like the diversity of content, who would have thought an Eagles fan would like a Dallas sports team? I know it's weird. I thought I was going to be roasted by DJ Eastwood at some point because I brought that up in a stream. I dropped a super chat for him, and he's like, "Why are you a Mavs fan? Like, how are you a Mavs fan?" I know, man. It's still weird. I know. I'm gonna have to hold on to that. I know it's weird, but if you like that kind of diversity of content, I would love to have you a part of the End Zone family. All you got to do is hit that subscribe button and do the same thing for Tyler as well. We're both on the grind. We're both on the move for separate aspirations and separate milestones that we are trying to reach. For me, currently, it's 200. And obviously, for Tyler, it's going to be 100. You already know the deal.
Well, Carl's goal is
Man, yeah. But we already got some fire viewers in the chat. BPS and Big Play Slay already in here. Hunter Doyle, Philly Insider Podcast in the building. What's going on, man? You're doing a bit better. That's good to know. That's good to know because y'all already know I talked about doing a watch party later, trying to figure out this mess that the Sixers are in, an outside perspective from a Mavs fan. I would love to do it, and I hope y'all can join me in a little bit. Joey Shakes in the building. Good to see you, my guy. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. Rock out on that Rock Band drum set. Mitch Kofsky in the building. He already hopping in here, man. So for y'all that don't know in the chat, there's going to be a big Eagles roundtable going on after this stream concludes. Tyler joining Mitch Kofsky, JC Eagles Talk, Tone to Shields, Philly Jim, and I'm probably forgetting somebody else. Eagles Uncensored, I believe, as well. There's going to be a big Eagles roundtable over there, so y'all check out Mitch Kofsky's channel for that. There's gonna be hella entertainment. But for now, I guess this is like the appetizer. This is like the warm up.
Right, we gotta have those gotta help quench the appetite a little bit before you get the meal.
Exactly. But I did manage to change the shoes in the background. I had a collection live stream going on a few days ago. I wanted to show you all my collection of J's. So I got the Kilroy 9s and the Concord 2s in the background. Bit of a change. I'm gonna try and alternate those. I'll alternate those a little bit. And yeah, Joey, you already know somebody's gonna have this man's gonna have a live call in tomorrow, and I think he's having one on Saturday for content creators. So you already know I'm hopping in for that Saturday one. You already know. Collapse will come eventually, but that call in will definitely be the warm up. You already know. But yeah, okay, man. Enough talking on my part. So
let's talk some more.
so I don't exhaust my voice and go mute. But I'm getting into this kind of mode that outside of us just being content creators, we're actual people at the we're actual people at the end of the day, and we're on this platform of YouTube, even though we're doing our thing when it comes to our content, whatever we're dropping videos for, and whatever we're supporting, we also try to get to know each other at the same time, and you know outside of meeting you through Mitch Kofsky's channel and everything, and us talking Eagles football and sports in general. But I guess it's safe to ask, like, what makes Tyler who Tyler is?
Ooh, a long and complicated story that could probably take up an entire live stream in itself.
Well, long story short, short story long.
Well, let me ask you, like, do you want all the interesting bits, or do you want the more recent bits?
I would say recent, more into I guess, like, okay, inspiration for your content creation, like okay, just getting into Eagles talk and stuff like that. Like okay, I guess sports and fandom based. We can start there.
So when I was little, my dad, super big Eagles fan. He's been all his life. He used to live in Philly, moved down to Jersey with his mother. And originally, as I was growing up, because I was real close to my cousin at the time, and he was a Redskins fan, and so I go to my dad, I go, Dad, I think I'm going to be football team fan. I'm sorry. I said, I think I'll go be a football team fan. He's like, oh, that's okay. I'll still love you. And then, like, a couple days later, because I was subscribed to this Eagles Kids program, and they mailed me in a lunchbox, I'm like, yay, I'm an Eagles fan again.
Yeah, so I guess we share the I guess we share a bit of, like, a family fandom inheritance, if I can put it that way. Like my dad bled green ever since I came out of the womb, and it just spawned from there. My parents got me all the Eagles gear, and here I am at like 4 or 5 years old in a full Eagles uniform with the pads and helmet and everything, man. So I mean, we're kind of the same in that sense. But yeah, so let's get into it here, because I mean, we got obviously there's different expectations from every fan, with this football team, and where we think the direction of this franchise is going to go after 2021. But if we can be simplistic here with the recent moves that the Eagles have made, and it was disappointing to some that the Eagles decided to waive Jamie Newman, the undrafted rookie free agent that they got out of Wake Forest, and he sported a similar based skill set to a guy like Jalen Hurts, and in due time of development, people have thought that he could have been a nice backup to complement from an offensive perspective, that there wouldn't necessarily be that many adjustments, because you can it's like a plug and play type of situation, that you don't have to make necessary adjustments to suit a guy like Joe Flacco, being he's a completely different quarterback to Jalen Hurts. So instead of Jamie Newman, we bring in a more NFL-ready quarterback in Nick Mullens, who's only 26. He has, I think, 19 games under his belt on his resume to his career so far. I think he's still on his rookie deal, just finished his third year. He went undrafted, I think, out of, Missouri? I forget, Missouri, I think. But back in it was back in 2017 where he was teammates with Quez Watkins, so there's a little bit of a familiarity and a nugget there. To me this move spells out the fact that we look at Nick Mullens in here, and he has a good familiarity already with the West Coast offense that maybe from San Fran, that may be similar to what Nick Sirianni and Kevin Patullo and Shane Steichen want to do. But I think I think the aspect that goes a little unnoticed in the fan base here is the fact that not only do you bring in a third quarterback with experience over a rookie, but that helps the guys on the practice squad, the guys that are maybe third string, especially the receivers that are trying to make a statement for themselves to hopefully make the 53-man roster. A guy like Nick Mullins can put them in better positions because he knows a little more what he is looking for, and he's not learning as much along the way. So that's just me. So what did you initially think when we brought in Nick Mullins?
So honestly, I was not as happy as a lot of other Eagles fans when it comes to bringing in Nick Mullins, and I said it a couple days ago on the live stream that I think he has massive accuracy issues. Like, yes, he does have that deep arm; he can throw it deep, and he's been getting good yardage when he is playing. But also look at his record; he's won, I think, at most 2 games in a season. Oh, excuse me, 3 games in a season. That was in 2018. And he's thrown double digits interceptions in both seasons that he's actually played. And to me, that doesn't necessarily inspire a lot of hope because that means he's giving away the ball carelessly, making bad decisions with the ball in his hands. And it's one of those things where I think he could be an okay third string quarterback, but I don't think he's going to truly challenge for that second spot like a lot of people are hoping or saying that he was going to do. Because at the end of the day, while Joe Flacco is older, he's not going to be able to throw as deep as Nick Mullins might be able to. Joe Flacco still has proven that he can still be a starting caliber quarterback on the lower tier teams like he did for the Jets for a good time being. And, he knows how to be smart with the ball. Yes, he's basically a check down machine at this point. But, if that's what you got to do to get the yardage, that's what you got to do.
Yeah, sure. I mean, well, there was even in the 4 games that Flacco has played for the Jets, I think I've seen him throw. I think I've seen him sling a couple of deep balls. I'm not sure exactly like who I remember the receivers were. I think he hit Rashad Perriman once on a deep ball, and then he didn't have a problem slinging it. There's a side to me that feels that Flacco's arm is that he still has a big arm even at 36, 37 years old, and I do think it's a little bigger than Nick Mullins, despite the age gap. But that's just the kind of quarterback that Flacco is. He wasn't the biggest gunslinger in his career, but his arm has been obviously above average. But the obvious was stated, and we're on the same page as far as quarterback competition goes, and I don't even think there's going to be a situation where there's going to be 3 quarterbacks making the 53 either. Usually it's kept at 2. Sometimes you bring in a third, but in those cases your third one is going to end up working with the practice squad, and I think that's where Mullins is best fit, especially that he still has things to work
on. Just, to me, the move still doesn't make a lot of sense when you also got a rookie quarterback free, from the unrestricted free agents coming out of the draft, and then you cut him to get Nick Mullins. It's one of those things that confuses me a little bit, because then what's the point of signing him to begin with if you're just going to wind up cutting him just a little bit later and sign another quarterback 3? But I don't know. To me, the idea of how they went about it is strange. Like, if they just signed Flacco and they just waited and then got Mullins, it would be a little bit more okay with me. But when you already had a third quarterback on your run for Nick Mullins, it leaves me with questions.
Yeah, that's true. Let me see what Hunter has to say here. He goes, to me, Mullins could still be a QB2 on some rosters. There are certainly better backups, but it is surprising to see some of the unproven guys who are QB2s around the league. A good QB3, yeah, absolutely. and you can even jot down the fact that I guess it depends when the availability was for Nick Mullins in the first place. I mean, there's with Garoppolo still on the mend, and there was almost a constant battle between Nick Mullins and C.J. Beathard on the football field, like who San Fran wanted to rely on in game situations. I mean, we seen him get benched last year when the 49ers faced us. As soon as Mullins threw that pick six, he was done. And in came C.J. Beathard and almost led the 49ers on a game-winning drive, I think, to either tie the game with a 2-point conversion or take the lead. So we were holding our breath for a little bit there because of the dreaded Jim Schwartz defense. But that's
I even said myself. I even said myself that if they didn't have Nick Mullins playing in that game, the 49ers honestly probably would have won that game because Eagles just weren't playing that well to begin with, and I think they were extremely lucky to come away with the win in that game in particular.
Yeah. Jordy, good to see you, man. Just got done talking to him about the Mavericks news recently, and he says, but why not take Mullins over Newman? I'd rather have someone who I know in general what they can give me compared to an undrafted free agent. Yeah, and that's the obvious point of the conversation. You already know, a guy like Nick Mullins, he's got film in the NFL to work off of. He's an NFL. Not an NFL proven quarterback, but more of like an NFL ready quarterback. And and this ties into what Hunter just said in the next comment, saying hearing reports that they did not like what they saw from Newman in OTAs and the rookie camp, which caused the move. Newman sitting out probably didn't help him either. Good arm strength, good size, but ball placement and decision-making aren't quite there yet, but I do understand the thought process of keeping a developmental guy when you're in a transition year in the event that Hurts doesn't pan out, but I believe in Jalen. So, yeah, it's another good point. But when you talk about swapping out Jamie Newman for Nick Mullins, you're basically moving how can I put it? Like you're basically like cheating yourself and stepping forward a little bit further in a means of development. Like you're not necessarily picking up somebody else's trash, but you're picking up somebody else's unfinished product, like an unfinished project. In the sense that the Eagles want to be closer to maybe a win now type of mode instead of going full development in a guy like Jamie Newman, who he opted out of 2020 and that hurt him, a little bit. So it's a similar aspect to seeing a guy like Kenny Gainwell. He opted out of 2020 as well, but you can arguably say position-wise, Kenny Gainwell at his position was better than Jamie Newman at his position in college. So the decision to be able to actually draft a guy like that, being on the Eagles' radar, it makes more sense. But there is similar principles there.
Yeah. And again, it's one of those things where I'm just not particularly hopeful on Mullins with how inaccurate he's been over the past 2 seasons, and I'm not sure exactly how the Eagles plan on going about fixing it that the 49ers didn't. Another thing that comes to mind is if something happens and Jalen, they go around, they say, well, Jalen, we don't think you're the guy. Sorry, bud. Which, again, don't think that will happen, but in case they do, I feel like there's some good quarterback options that you can get with one of your first 3-round picks in this upcoming draft if you truly don't believe that. Because, I feel like you'll find a better talent that'll be better for your team quarterback-wise than just getting Nick Mullins.
Mm-hmm. And this is another good point.
All right. Well, apparently he has gone away. I am apparently doing this by myself, but I will go into detail about this comment here. So I definitely can agree. You know, having that fourth open spot there for the fourth camp arm is look a little different there, bud.
I'm not. Oh, yeah, because the camera's being fed. StreamYard likes to do this sort of thing where it likes to connect my external. This is
Fun
stupid.
times.
Yeah. Usually. Wow, this is dumb. This is so dumb. Now, why did that turn on?
Hey, you at least came back quicker than Eagles Uncensored did. When he left, it was for a good 2 minutes.
Yeah. Let me
Hey,
see.
there he is.
Yeah, I think I just fixed it. Yeah, that doesn't make sense. It's like a I don't want that. I don't know. It's weird because they like it's weird because the camera seems to want to interfere with each other, and it doesn't make sense to me. So
Well, is
it
this
should
off,
be
like,
it should be back to normal now.
what cameras was that one originally? Like,
I have a I have a Logitech webcam that I have fitted on my monitor that's actually connected to the laptop. The laptop is like a hand-me-down one, so the camera's not as good.
That's exactly why. Are you streaming it off your laptop?
Yeah, so
That's exactly why. Yeah, because it always picks up the first input it detects.
Yeah. My hardware is the laptop, but now I have an external screen in this monitor because I work. My gaming is on here now, along with using just an HDMI cable to hook to. What's that?
Gaming channel coming soon? ?
I've streamed some gameplay on my channel a couple of times, but I try to stay on point with the whole reason as to why I made this channel in the first place. I don't want to get off topic all the time, but yeah, if I'm chilling at night or whatever, I'll stream some gameplay sometimes. I've done Destiny 2 a couple of times and Cold War and stuff like that, but
hey, when that crossplay comes out, would love to play some Destiny 2 with you.
That works.
You do your VOG raid yet?
What's that?
Vault of Glass?
No, I'm not big into raids, man. They're too time consuming.
That is true, but dude, they're so much fun, especially.
Yeah, I bet. I've been in the override. So I have been in the override for the recent season.
Yeah, the overrides are interesting.
But yeah, so now that my camera is actually working now, and there seems to be no issues with disconnections. Yeah, so I mean, with Hunter talking about bringing Newman back as a camp arm and everything, and we seen that when we signed Nick Mullins that he actually filled out the roster again, and it is full once more back to 90. Until the camp cuts come out once more, and through training camp and getting into late July and August and of the sorts, it makes at this point, because you have Mullins, it makes even more sense to bring a guy like Newman back. With having two quarterbacks on the practice squad, and then you have two quarterbacks on the official 53. You got your backup, you got your starter, but then you have that fourth quarterback to work with the number 3 on the practice squad. That there's a collaboration there, and yeah, I get that there's coaching responsibilities there too, but it makes more sense in that aspect. That you're also giving players on the practice squad different looks with two different quarterbacks, because it's easy to say that Mullins and Jamie Newman aren't the same one, but in the means of competition right now, it doesn't seem that Jamie Newman was suited skillfully enough based on COVID circumstances to really make an impact and be that number 3. But this makes sense. This makes more sense as a future decision. Let's see. He also says it's hard to.
Actually, I'm gonna hold you off there real quick because this is some breaking news that it's not Eagles pertain, but I think it's interesting to talk about.
All right, what do we got?
Apparently, the Chicago Bears have submitted a bid to buy the Arlington International Racecourse property so they could build a potential new stadium there.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That's real interesting.
Soldier Field does have age to it. So.
It does. It's just I figured they would, maybe they just keep doing renovations to it because I feel like it's one of the more iconic NFL fields nowadays. Yeah. But I'm more curious to see how the Ford family could even afford to do.
Wow.
So it's not like, or not the Ford, the owners of the Chicago team. Is that the McCaskies?
BPS going, duh, Bears. You already know.
Yeah, I think it's the McCaskies. I remember correctly. I thought the McCaskies were having some money troubles. If I'm,
let's see. Hunter going, I wouldn't mind using one of our unlimited season practice squad spots on Mullins, but I feel like he would definitely get picked up. Oh yeah. I mean, yeah, sure. I think so too.
Well, Mullins would get nice quarterback you could possibly develop. That's like one of the biggest draws to him, especially when he's just coming out of the draft. He won't cost you an arm and a leg too. So
yeah,
no reason not to attempt to pick him up.
So I mean, it seems in conclusion that we're all on the same page and bringing in Nick Mullins that this is an upgrade at this point in time, and it only enhances the competition value amongst players and players that aren't necessarily as affected from the quarterback position, because this is only going to help the receivers stand out because they have a more dependable quarterback at the QB3 spot to be able to help them in that manner. So the other priority position here that we're still irritated about, because it's like not many moves have been made in the offseason so far to address it, and that's the cornerback position. We got a lot of guys in the mixture right now, but none of them seem to be the clear-cut number 2 for the outside. At the moment, I heard that it is said that Josiah Scott has been getting reps on the outside. The recent acquisition from the Jacksonville Jaguars in a trade, Josiah Scott has been the one getting snaps on the outside. I don't necessarily know how I feel about that when his athletic profile is almost completely identical to a guy in Avonte Maddox who just didn't work on the outside. Yeah. But they're promoting, with Sirianni being a guy promoting right now, when it comes down to intelligence at the position, that's what they're saying about Josiah, is that he's a smart football player, and he's smart, aggressive, and that he just wants to work. So I mean, if we already seen through last year that a guy like Avonte Maddox did not work on the outside, and this is not to say that he's any less smart than Josiah Scott, because they were both 4th-round picks, so their talent levels are about the same. I think Avonte's a little bit faster than Josiah, but I'm not necessarily I'm not necessarily agreeing with this aspect of another short corner getting outside reps.
Okay. Yeah, and I think if it is going to be another short corner getting outside reps, then they need to have something special about them. They need to, be that tall, but they need to play like they're 6'5". Like they have to be able to put in that kind of effort, that much hustle, everything to their play, which is why I feel there's so many people saying that we still need that cornerback number 2. It's because, they don't know if, especially with this rookie that we just drafted, if that's going to be good enough at that outside position. And we can't just rely on Darius Slay to be able to, be the only good defender on the team and try and force the quarterback to look in other directions. At the end of the day, it comes down to if they truly believe this kid is good enough, then give him a shot. But you won't know if he's ready for it or not until at the earliest, I would say about week 1. I'm not even going to give preseason. Not even going to give them preseason because it's one of those things where preseason, like you'll have the starters playing a little bit, but it's going to be mostly your backups. It's going to be most of your third string. All your other guys are out with something to prove, but it's not going against like the official number 2 of the team for like every single other snap. So until we truly see him play against those top-tier contenders and we see how he does in actual games, we can't truly say if he'll be ready for that position or not, which, again, is why I've always been saying that we should sign one of these guys that has been proven to be able to handle that kind of position, be able to handle that kind of stress and whatnot reliably, especially with how there is a lot of blood available through free agency. A good couple of them, like Stephon Gilmore and Xavier Howard, are up for trade right now because they're not even showing up to mandatory OTAs or mandatory training camp. English, it's a hard language, I swear.
Yeah, but I think Xavier Howard would be a little expensive to our liking since we
that was just me more spitballing more than anything because he is up there. But yeah, there's a lot of good players you could slot that would be able to hold it down 100%.
Yeah,
rather than have to worry about taking the risk.
Another big-time baller in the house stopping by, Joe Castro for Philly the podcast. And what's going on? Repping the Brooklyn Nets over there with KD dropping that 50-point triple-double the other day. Somebody has to be ecstatic for the all-time historical collapse that the 76ers just went through. Being that I do know Castro likes to troll, so
twice back-to-back games.
Man,
they gave up big leads in back-to-back games. Like, oh my goodness, the series could already be over.
So one of the comments here, and this makes a I'll get to it in a second because I don't want to skip one. But Big Play Slay going, how would that work for Josiah? He's a smaller DB. With not that many definitive skills other than the raw coverage when he's in nickel. You can't be aggressive with a player taller than you, barring Scott is 5'9". So this comment segues into another comment that brings up a point that I wanted to get across as well. And Jordy talking about saying, good thing is this year we won't play corners 5 to 10 yards off the line of scrimmage all the time. So, I mean, how irritating was it to see that sticks defense constantly, because Jim Schwartz was in numerous positions where he just didn't trust his DBs flat out. He was always in fear of them getting burnt because they're too slow or their coverage is not good. It's a perfect segue into a point that it seems almost apparent with what Jonathan Gannon is looking for out of this defense. As of right now, he seems to be the type of coordinator that wants to, that's not going to be one that, that exposes players' weaknesses, more so wanting to enhance their play based on their strengths. So in that regard, I mean, we should see. I think we're going to see a better combination of coverages. more safety help, obviously, situations like that. I don't think we're going to be in a constant, like, this the defensive setups looking like a broken record where we're seeing the same formations all the time, and these corners, giving receivers so much cushion to be able to get that early engagement in their routes and plan their breaks and get up to full speed, where instead like you're giving them so much breathing room. Like, there was such a lack of press coverage. You don't have guys getting in their face, disrupting their routes, and giving the opposing quarterback an easier field to diagnose and work with to be able to get the passes that he wants. It's a very good point, because I've never necessarily have been a fan of Jim Schwartz's defense. While successful at times, it was too predictable, and it really hurt us in terms of defensive line proficiency, because all they were asked to do was, as soon as the ball is snapped, get after the quarterback. You're not making him think, and he can just pick your linebackers and secondaries apart, because you already know that it's an easy weakness to exploit.
Yeah, and I do think that's why there's been so much more focus, especially over the past couple of years, on the defensive line in particular. It's because in Schwartz's mind, it was, okay, why do I need to worry about having top tier, corners and linebackers and all that, when I could just send my entire front four and put that much back and forth and either throw the ball away or risk taking the sack. That's mean. But again, in theory, that can work, and that's why we were able to get as far as we did in 2017. But when it doesn't work, it just leaves the entire defense completely exposed, looking like they're a bunch of little kids going against grown men as they get burned for 50-yard plays, 45-yard plays, which was a big problem last year. It's a sword, and we definitely died by that sword last year by a lot.
Yeah, I mean, when you talk about it like that, how important defense is. I mean, this brings up the conversation that Cowboys fans have, where they think Dak is going from anywhere from 5,000 to 6,000 passing yards. Like, what the hell are you guys what the hell are you guys talking about? There's only one football, for one. Two, they feel that they have.
Maybe they faced the Jets 16 games last season.
Jeez, man. Before I get into that tangent for how ridiculous it is, let me bring up another one from Big Play Slay here. He says, it kind of makes sense that Gannon is bringing the zone to the Eagles because he understands that he doesn't have tall corners, so he wants to give them leverage so nothing happens down the field. Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, it's you talk about that, and you talk about the fact that these corners might actually have safety help this time. When you guys and Jordy adding on to it, saying that there will be two safeties back and not one usually in the box. I mean, how many times, even when Malcolm Jenkins was here, like the usage of Malcolm Jenkins, where he, there was times where he was a corner, and there was times where he was a safety, and then there was times where he was a linebacker. You have all that fluctuation, and then when you bring Malcolm Jenkins down, that leaves the secondary exposed, because the quarterback already knows where he's going to have the advantage. Like, cough cough, like Jalen Mills, yes, or Ronald Darby out there.
Because unfortunately, we could not have Malcolm Jenkins playing every single secondary position as much as we would have loved it.
Yeah, no, it's just that just wears you down, man. And with him in his final year for Philly, I think he was 32 years old, and he played 100% of the defensive snaps. Like, that's ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous. But
And even
you
to
know,
me, it's a damn shame that we didn't bring him back as well.
it is.
I was one of the my saddest moments I've had as an Eagles fan is when we didn't re-sign him. I love the guy so much.
I think he was the one player that didn't fit into the idea of, the franchise having a hard time of letting these veteran players go. Because I mean,
Yeah.
Amongst who they got rid of, whether it was Deshaun Jackson or Alshon Jeffrey or Jason Peters, you can arguably say that Malcolm Jenkins was the most impactful.
Oh yeah.
Especially when it comes to terms with health and the
Level
that
play that he's
impact that he
providing.
brought to the defense.
Yeah. Well, another thing, because I do want to talk about JP real quick, is that honestly, I kind of liked him last season because, especially at the beginning of the season, it's going to be one of the most negative memories I will ever have about him. And it's probably the last memory I will ever have of JP, especially in an Eagles uni, because he just was a shell of himself last season. Like, he just was not able to dominate the line like he normally did for countless amount of years since he's been with us. But yeah. It's
it was definitely sad.
just not the way you'd want to go out.
Yeah, no.
It's never fun watching one of your favorite players of all time just playing like absolute nothing.
Going back to this Cowboys prediction, man. I had to get this out of the way.
I couldn't stop him, Chad. I tried.
I had to get this out of the way. 5,000 to 6,000 yards for Dak Prescott. Come on. This isn't Madden. This isn't Madden on rookie difficulty, first of all. Second of all, you realize the amount of different factors that are going to come into play for him to be able to throw that many yards. It's going to be the defense he's facing, how, the time of possession that Dallas is going to have, how quick can the Cowboys defense get off the field to give Dak another chance, at accomplishing a feat like this. It's like, time of possession comes into play, the efficiency of the offense, the efficiency of the defense. There's only one football. They're thinking Dak is going to hit that kind of statistic. Zeke is going to be a rushing champion. Like, what do you?
No, so Marty, I have a perfect comparison for you with that. So I used to go out to Pittsburgh for college.
Okay.
And I kid you not, my first day there was these guys going, "Oh yeah, this is the year of Pittsburgh. The Steelers are going to win the Super Bowl. Amy's going to get over 1,000 yards beyond bounds, circles around every defense. The Penguins are going to go 4 in a row, and we don't care about the Pirates because they've always been trash." Whoa! And then AB turned into the diva. Le'Veon never played a snap, and there was more drama than success. And I was happy every single minute.
We got another heavy hitter in the building as well. Birdman just hopped in. What up, Birdman 951? He's been killing it with his interviews lately over on his channel with his live streams. Shout out to him.
What is that icon?
Oh, Birdman's that's his custom one.
Yeah, what is that?
It's him with a bandana holding a baseball bat. Custom baseball bat. But yeah, man, that's the beauty of Eagles content creators, man. We're very unique. We're all very unique. I still have, well, I can't even talk either because I still have a generic one for myself. I gotta end up creating
pretty sure
one.
mine is still Nicolas Cage with his giant gaping mouth.
Yeah, I seen that. Yeah, I seen that.
I originally was going to take it off, but I'm like, it's too funny. I'm going to keep it.
Yeah, there you go. But yeah, man, I think that, but what these Cowboys, man, like, come on, whether it's fans or content creators talking about it, like seriously, didn't we hear? Haven't we heard the same thing for the last 3 years now? That this guy's going to be a Pro Bowler, or this one's going to have 1,000 yards, and Dak is going to have a Pro Bowl year, and we're going to make the playoffs, or we're going to make the NFC.
If you look at that offense, they should be like that offense. There's no reason that offense shouldn't be putting up like fucking 24, 32 points a game, but it's the Cowboys, and it's under McCarthy, so they won't.
The worst part is that it's not even a knock on the football team. It's a knock on the fact that when it comes to evaluating the Dallas Cowboys, when it comes to evaluating them, the problem is that they're rated on reputation instead of expectation. That is the biggest problem for that franchise, because they won all those rings almost a quarter century ago. They haven't updated their resume, but we still have to go back to the VHS tapes and that legacy and whatever. And we're still that football team. No, you're not.
Like the Edmonton Oilers.
No, you're not. You haven't earned anything lately. you haven't earned anything lately.
The last time they made the playoffs, they haven't made it out the first round of the playoffs in a good amount of years, haven't they?
No, I think it was. I think it was 2016 they got to the divisional against Green Bay and lost, I think, because they would have been in the NFC Championship game. And then I think they were I think it was the divisional or the wild card game against the Rams in the Coliseum, and then they took an L again. So they've made it to the playoffs recently, but they just haven't delivered. But
I know they've been making the playoffs, but I don't remember them making like deep runs and stuff.
Yeah, no.
Actually,
no. Yeah. I mean,
yeah, no.
Here I am.
Wait, was 2016 a game where the catch wasn't allowed?
2016? No.
That wasn't when Dez.
No, that wasn't the Dez Caudick game. I think the Dez Caudick game was back in 2014.
I remember it was against Green Bay. That's why I didn't.
Yeah. No, I don't think the Dez Caudick game was 20. I don't think the Dez Caudick game was.
Yeah, well, let us know.
Yeah, I don't think so. But I mean, yeah, this is hilarious though. Like I'm a fan of the Dallas Mavericks, and I'm shitting on a Dallas
team.
But I mean, I love my Mavs. But obviously, with me bleeding green, we gotta shit on them boys.
Hey man, listen.
No man, it's
that's one of the best sports personalities of today. How about them Cowboys?
Yeah, that's just the biggest problem to me, man. Until that gets fixed, then the Cowboys fans are just gonna still get trashed on, because I mean that's what it's about. Stop evaluating your team on reputation and start doing it on expectation, because every year they do the same thing. They set the bar so high, and then it's a catastrophe when they don't meet those expectations. You're not that same
more realistic
you were back in the mid-90s. So man, we got on such a tangent with a bunch of different crap that almost an hour has passed already. Yeah, 50 minutes in.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, 50 minutes in. It's about to be 7:30. You got some preparation to do for that big round table coming up at 8 o'clock. Damn.
Yeah.
Putting in that work, ladies and gentlemen. Definitely.
And yet I still haven't posted a video in 2 weeks. Yeah, boy.
Yeah, man. I'm trying to keep up with it, like, on the daily. I got 2 sports teams that I have to,
Yeah. Actually, while we are on the topic of videos, I'm not gonna name drop it here, but do you happen to have the time to film that video yet?
Which one?
The one we were talking about in DMs?
No,
Okay.
I was thinking of mixing Mavericks talk with Sixers talk on in a stream that I'm going to eventually do tonight because of the I wanted to do the film room stuff for Sixers fans to try to figure out what happened in the fourth quarter of that game, even though it was almost blatantly obvious. But I mean, like, even the simplest fundamentals can still explain things to you instead of just looking at a game on the surface. And that's what I appreciate. So I'm gonna end up, I'm gonna do a watch party. We're going to try and break that game down and try and create some optimism for Sixers fans going into.
There will be no optimisms if they lose the next game.
I'm gonna try my best.
There will be a riot. That's what there will be.
I know. It's not looking good. They blew 2 games in a row. They have to go back to Atlanta for Game 6. It's not looking good, but
it's not looking pretty.
I'm gonna try. But
hey, yeah, but no, if you ain't got a time, it's not an issue, No.
Man, so I guess for the sake to help you with your preparation going forward, there's only 30 minutes left until the next stream starts that you take a part of. I guess to conclude, it didn't seem that we it seemed that we didn't talk
a whole lot. Yeah.
We didn't necessarily talk about a whole lot, but I think that is the theme right now for the Eagles, that nothing much is going on, just due to common situations that we're dealing with right now, whether it's the need for a corner or the Zach Ertz debacle, that situation. It's just all. There's just a bunch of similar things going on right now, and until we get some more material or stuff like that, it'll be easier to discuss. But man, the NBA is riddled with stories right now. We got Zion in New Orleans not happy. He's his family is not happy with him in New Orleans, and my Mavericks lost their head coach today. He departed with 2 years left on his contract. Our general manager's gone. People are asking about what Damian Lillard is going to do. CJ McCollum may be on the trade block. Sixers fans feel, terrible for Joel Embiid since, Ben Simmons is Ben Simmons.
Get no help.
There's NBA news everywhere, man. But I guess to conclude the stream, man, already 53 minutes. What happened?
I know, right?
What happened? 53 minutes, almost 54. There's still
what did we talk about? What did we talk about for 53 minutes?
Well, it was.
Yeah, we'll just do this again.
It was Nick Mullins, the cornerback spot, and then we got into some random tangents.
We talked about Destiny, Soldiers Field, Cowboys somehow.
Bunch of random stuff. I think it's because I'm wearing my Mavs shirt, and
it's breaking it out in you. I got you.
I guess so. But
that's weird. I see you.
Well. Yeah, random Anton. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I talked about. I'm definitely. We're once this stream is concluded, we're gonna definitely talk more about the Sixers. I'm gonna get another stream going. I gotta break down some of this game. As an outsider.
Yeah.
As an outsider, as a Mavs fan, I need to break that game down. We're gonna go on NBA League Pass. We're gonna start a watch party, put it up on the screen, and I want to hear from Sixers fans. We gotta break this stuff down, man. But I guess to conclude the stream out, man, I definitely appreciate it.
Man.
You volunteering to come onto the channel here as the as a first time guest, hanging out with myself, and obviously there's going to be plenty more opportunities with with the Philly content creator community being such it seems to be such a tight knit group. That's what I've learned over the course of having my own channel for about 7 months now, and just continuing to keep going, and making memories, making friends, all those cringy cliches. I guess we could make them, but
aren't we all just cringy cliches deep inside, though?
That's I think we all do. I think we all do. But it's cool. It's cool at the end, though. But yeah, man. Obviously, once again, I appreciate the opportunity to hang out with you for once in the stream, and then just get some Eagles talk in here and whatnot, and then I'll let you get out of here, get you prepared for that big roundtable coming up. Those in the chat, make sure to go check that out. There's going to be a big time Eagles roundtable stream with some big names in there over at Mitch Kofsky's channel. He's going to have Tone DeShields over there. Tyler as well is going to be over there. Eagles Uncensored.
I'm going to torture you now.
Eagles talk. But what's that?
I'm going to torture you before I leave. So if you look at the private chat, I put my last name. I'm torturing you in the fact that I'm going to force you to try and say my last name.
I thought I heard the pronunciation about just before I started the stream, because I went to your channel and a video was playing.
Spoiled it.
It sounds something like Scholendorn, something like that.
Nope.
I forget, because you say it quick. You say it quick. But
you have to say it quick, otherwise you get tongue tied.
Exactly. I heard it. I heard it, and I had a small inclination to memorize it, but it's like, well, I've only known you as Tyler to this point, so that just made more sense.
I will never know me as. No one will know me as that. That's what will make me say it now, but that's never what I will be called.
Jeez. Well, all right, man. Well, time's ticking down here. We're about to hit an hour in the stream. I think we I think we hit the goal that we wanted to. Once again, appreciate you coming on here. We got our Eagles talk in there, and obviously there's going to be more opportunities in the future to do so. Future collaborations or what have you, and
I'd love to.
I guess anything that the Eagles content creators want to do, anything with that sort of involvement, man. We all know that we're game for everything, and at the end of the day, it comes down to just having fun and giving the fan base and the subscribers good content to go back on, even if they missed the live show. So man, once again, I appreciate you coming on here, and we kick ass for the first stream, and then we look forward to many more come down the road.
Oh yeah, definitely. Whenever I got the chance when I'm not working, which is almost every day.
Yeah.
It makes me cry.
I know, man. It's like you get to that point, and you get to that point where you think, well, man, I wish I had X amount of subscribers, because it's like, you get so tied up into it, and it's like you feel you're in a position where it's like, you know what? I wish I got paid to do this, because it's like I sometimes.
But you know what? I'll take my job as well. You know what? I could have had a lot worse jobs.
Yeah, of course. All right, man. Well, I appreciate everybody coming in here to hang out with Tyler and I for the first stream with Eagles Talk here on a bird stream. Officially hit an hour. Thank you everybody for hopping in here. A bunch of regulars stopped by. We had some big time ballers, and whether it was Joe Castro or Birdman and Joey Shakes earlier stopping in. In the middle of getting his rock band going as well. But appreciate everybody once again, and you already know where to find us. Obviously, with my channel here, and do me a favor and go over to Tyler's channel, and give him a look on the content that he's trying to push out. The man obviously has common goals like the rest of us, and pushing their channel forward, and we love to do this. So as much support as I've been given so far, Tyler deserves the same, as well as any content creator is given. So give him a shout out, give him a subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll let you go for your preparation for that roundtable stream. And
in other words,
as for me,
water.
There you go. But as for me, I'm going to get some preparation myself for a watch party stream. For those that come check it out, we're gonna get some Sixers stuff going, some Maverick stuff going. But that'll do it for this stream with Tyler and Eagles Talk. This has been Lindy Endzone for the touchdown, taking the lead for the Eagles one video at a time and dropping buckets for my Dallas Mavericks. You already know the deal. Fly, Eagles, fly, everybody. Bleed green. MFFLs. We should be okay, y'all. Take care of yourselves, and see you next time.
Goodbye.